From translation, KJV, King James Version, this 255 day of the year. Today, we are reading passages Ezekiel 40 to 42, Ezekiel chapter 40, verses 1 to 49. In the 25th year of our captivity, in the beginning of the year, in the 10th day of the month, in the 14th year after that the city was smitten, in the selfsame day the hand of the Lord was upon me, and brought me thither, unto Jerusalem, unto the mountain of my holiness, in the inner court. And there was a man showing me in visions of God. And he brought me thither, and behold, there was a man whose appearance was like the appearance of brass, of the line of flax in his hand, and a measuring reed in his hand. And he stood in a gate. And the man said unto me, Son of man, behold with thine eyes, and hear with thine ears, and set thine heart unto all that I shall show thee. For to the intent that I might show them unto thee art thou brought hither. Declare all that thou seest to the house of Israel. And behold, there was a wall on the outside of the house round about, and in the man's hand a measuring reed of 6 great cubits, the cubit and a handbreadth. So he measured the breadth of the wall, which was 1 reed, and the height was 1 reed. Then came he unto the gate which looketh toward the east, and he went up the stairs thereof, and measured the threshold of the gate, which was 1 reed broad. And the other threshold also was 1 reed broad. And every little chamber was 1 reed long, and 1 reed broad. And between the little chambers were 5 cubits. And the threshold of the gate, by the porch thereof within, was 1 reed. He measured also the porch of the gate within, 1 reed. Then measured he the porch of the gate 8 cubits, and the post thereof 2 cubits, and the porch of the gate was inward. And the little chambers of the gate toward the east were 3 on this side, and 3 on that side. They 3 were of 1 measure, and the posts thereof were of 1 measure on this side and on that side. And he measured the breadth of the entry of the gate 10 cubits, and the length of the gate was 25 cubits. The space also before the little chambers was 1 cubit on this side, and 1 cubit on that side. And the little chambers were 6 cubits on this side, and 6 cubits on that side. He measured then the gate from the roof of 1 little chamber to the roof of another. The breadth was 25 cubits, door against door. He made also posts of 60 cubits, even unto the post of the court round about the gate. And from the face of the gate of entrance unto the fullness of the porch of the gate within was 50 cubits. And there were narrow windows to the little chambers, and to their posts within the gate round about, and likewise to the arches. And windows were round about inward, and upon each post were palm trees. Then brought he me into the outer court, and lo, there were chambers, and a pavement made for the court round about. 30 chambers were upon the pavement, and the pavement by the gate of the outer court on the outside was checker-work with stones of various colors. And he measured the breadth of the court on the outside, 100 cubits long, and 100 cubits broad, 4 but the gate was not 4. And the gate that looked toward the north of the outer court, he measured to the wards thereof, which were 3 on this side, and 3 on that side. And the posts thereof and the arches thereof were after the measure of the first gate. The length thereof was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. And the little chambers thereof were 3 on this side, and 3 on that side. And the posts thereof and the arches thereof were according to the measure of the first gate. The length thereof was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. And their windows and their arches also were according to the measure of the gate that looketh toward the east. And they went up unto them by 7 steps, and the arches thereof were before them. And in the gate of the inner court was a gate toward the north, and he measured from this gate to the gate of the inner court 100 cubits. After that he brought me toward the south, and behold, there was a gate toward the south, and he measured the posts of the gate according to the same measures. And there were windows in it, and in the arches thereof round about, like those windows, The length was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. 7 steps were leading to it, and its arches were before them. And it had palm trees, one on this side and another on that, upon the posts thereof. Where was also a gate toward the south, and he measured from gate to gate toward the south 100 cubits. And he brought me to the inner court by the south gate, and he measured the south gate according to the same measures, and the little chambers thereof, and the posts thereof, and the arches thereof, according to these measures. And there were windows in it, and in the arches thereof round about. It was 50 cubits long, and 25 cubits broad. And the arches round about were 25 cubits in length, and 5 cubits in breadth. And the arches thereof were toward the outer court, and palm trees were upon the posts thereof. And the going up to it had 8 steps. And he brought me into the inner court toward the east. And he measured the gate according to these measures. And the little chambers thereof, and the posts thereof, and the arches thereof were according to these measures. And there were windows in it, and in the arches thereof round about. It was 50 cubits long, and 25 cubits broad. And the arches thereof were toward the outer court, and palm trees were upon the posts thereof, on this side and on that side. And the going up to it had 8 steps. And he brought me to the gate of the north, and measured it according to these same measures. The little chambers thereof, the posts thereof, and the arches thereof, and the windows to it round about. The length was 50 cubits, and the breadth 25 cubits. And its posts were toward the outer court, and palm trees were upon the posts thereof, also on this side and on that side. And the going up to it had 8 steps. And a chamber, and the entry thereof was by the posts of the gates, where they washed the burnt offering. And in the porch of the gate were 2 tables on this side, and 2 tables on that side, to slay thereon the burnt offering, and the sin offering, and the trespass offering. And by the side without, as one goeth up to the entry of the gate toward the north, were 2 tables, and on the other side, which was at the porch of the gate, were 2 tables. 4 tables were on this side, and 4 tables on that side. By the side of the gate, 8 tables. Whereupon they slew their sacrifices. And there were tables also under the thresholds of the gate, on this side and on that side, for the slaying of the Passover and other sacrifices. And within were hooks, and handbreadth high, fastened round about. And upon the tables was the flesh of the offering. And without the inner gate were the chambers of the singers in the inner court, which was at the side of the gate toward the north, and their prospect was toward the south. One was at the side of the gate toward the east, and their prospect was toward the north. And he said unto me, This chamber, whose prospect is toward the south, is for the priests, the keepers of the charge of the house. And the chamber whose prospect is toward the north is for the priests, the keepers of the charge of the altar. These are the sons of Zadok, among the sons of Levi, which come near to the Lord to minister unto him. So he measured the court, 100 cubits long, and 100 cubits broad, 4 and the altar was before the house. And he brought me to the porch of the house, and measured each post of the porch, 5 cubits on this side, and 5 cubits on that side. And the breadth of the gate was 3 cubits on this side, and 3 cubits on that side. The length of the porch was 20 cubits, and the breadth was 11 cubits. And by the steps thereof there were stairs to go up to it. And there were pillars by the posts, one on this side and one on that side. Ezekiel chapter 41, verses 1 to 26. Then I went into the house and measured it with my reed. The length 50 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits. And the door was towards the east. The breadth of the door was 2 cubits. But the door itself was 5 cubits. And he measured the length of the house 40 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits. Then went he inward, and measured the post of the door 2 cubits, and the door 6 cubits, and the breadth of the door 7 cubits. So he measured the length thereof 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 20 cubits, before the house. And he said unto me, This is the most holy place. After he measured the wall of the house, 6 cubits, and the breadth of every side chamber, 4 cubits, round about the house on every side. And the side chambers were 3 stories, but one upon another, and 30 chambers in every story. And there were beams in the house round about the stories, to support them, that they did not touch the walls of the house. And there was an enlarging in a winding path round about, and the more that they wound, the more they went up. For the winding path of the house went up ever higher round about. Therefore the breadth of the house continued ever upward, and so increased from the lower story to the upper. I saw also the height of the house round about. The foundations of the side chambers were a full reed of 3 great cubits. The thickness of the wall, which was for the side chambers without, was 5 cubits, and that which was left free was the place of the side chambers that were within. And between the chambers was the width of 20 cubits round about the house. And the doors of the side chambers turned toward the free place, one door toward the north, and another door toward the south. And the breadth of the place of the free space was 5 cubits round about. Now the building that was toward the west was 70 cubits long, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick round about, and its length was 90 cubits. So he measured the house, 100 cubits long, and the separate place and the building with the walls thereof, 100 cubits long. Also the breadth of the face of the house and of the separate place toward the east, 100 cubits. And he measured the length of the building over against the separate place which was at the back thereof, and the galleries thereof on the one side and on the other side, 100 cubits, with the inner temple and the porches of the court, the thresholds and the narrow windows, and the galleries round about on their 3 stories, over against the threshold, were covered with wood round about, and from the ground up to the windows, and the windows were covered. To that above the door, even unto the inner house, and on the outside, and throughout all the walls round about within and without, by measure. And it was made with cherubims and palm trees, so that a palm tree was between a cherub and a cherub. And the cherub had 2 faces, so that the face of a man was toward a palm tree on the one side, and the face of a young lion toward a palm tree on the other side. It was made through all the house round about. From the ground unto above the door were cherubims and palm trees made, and on the wall of the temple. The doorposts were squared, and the face of the temple was square. I saw also an altar of wood. 3 cubits was the length of it, and 2 cubits the breadth of it. And the corners thereof, and the length thereof, and the breadth thereof, were according to the measure of an altar.